So we're gonna do a variation on shepherd's pie today. Instead of using lamb, we're gonna use ground beef, and we're gonna use beets and great northern beans. We're gonna start by caramelizing some onions. So we'll go ahead and cut up the onion. So we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit. So I'll wait to high. And we're gonna caramelize these onions. And you splash some of that down and watch the magic happen. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. That'll caramelize it. That's pretty good for what we're doing. Now we're gonna take that and move it here. Alright, we're gonna ground the beef now. And as I ground the beef, we're gonna put some seasonings in there. Well, we go ahead and get the beef started first. So our beef's starting to cook, starting to brown. So I like to add a little bit. Well, you can add beer to that too. And then I like to add some Worcestershire sauce. A little Worcestershire sauce in there. A little salt. We're gonna put a little herbs de Providence in there. So you need type of good seasonings, savory seasonings you got around the house. Some parsley. Some rosemary. And keep just getting that beef all good and ground up. Some rosemary. Alright, now that our beef is getting pretty brown, we're going to go ahead and add more stuff to it. We'll go ahead and add the onion stuff back in. And we're going to go ahead and put these vegetables in. Go ahead and put the great northern beans in there. I strain most of the juice at least, maybe leave a little in there. So we got our great northern beans. I thought about slicing up the beets, but I'm just gonna throw them in there the way they are. Throw some beets in there. Let that all cook up for a second. This is experimental cooking. I've never done this recipe before. Alright, so now we're just gonna leave this stewing and all its stewy goodness. I got it on 6. And we're just gonna go ahead and throw a few more flavors in here. I've been breaking up those beets. Let's say at this point just throw in a little more salt. We'll throw in a dash more Worcestershire. And I'm gonna throw in a little garlic and some cumin. The Mexican secret. It always goes good with ground beef. Might throw a little more rosemary in there. And I got fresh basil, which we'll be using in our next recipe. Alright, now it's starting to stew up pretty good. Look at those mixed in. Alright, we're going to turn this all this goodness down. Turn it off. We're going to transfer it to this pan. I'm going to coat with some olive oil. Just a little bit of that. Just a dash. Just enough to coat your pan. Go ahead and slop all that on in there. The next step is going to be to coat the whole dish with mashed potatoes. So that can kind of settle there for a minute while you get your mashed potatoes ready to top it with. This would be a good time to go ahead and preheat your oven and put it on 400. And you want to do it on 400 for probably about 20 minutes and then broil for 20. So you just whip up some instant mashed potatoes real quick and you just top it on top of your dish and you spread it out over this. I don't know if I made enough. I might make just a few more mashed potatoes, but the instant mashed potatoes are really easy to cook and you cook them really fast. So I might just do one more cup to give it an extra layer. So we got some more potatoes coming up here. They're just kind of getting going, settling down. And now we're gonna let it bake for probably about 20 or 15 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna take the dish out, put a little cheese on it, and broil it for like another 10 minutes. So the heat's off. There's our cottage pie, looking pretty good. All right, so we'll go ahead and sit that in there, broil it for probably about 10 more minutes, and it'll be ready to eat. All right, here goes, guys. This is the final product. It's not called shepherd's pie. It's called cottage pie. And you're gonna want it to cool for a good while before you serve it. Probably a good 10 or 15 minutes. Well, it looks like it's time to feast on this delicious meal that I slaved over. Mashed potatoes, ground beef, cheese. It's very hot still. Let's see. I might need to blow it down a little bit. Oh, it's still too hot. But quite delicious.